Chapter 1. Mitch, I am so sextrated I could scream. Sleeping with Mara Jenis is worse than sleeping with a fish. At least with a fish, I would get to eat it afterwards, but with Mara I have to listen to her obviously fake moans and screeches that sound like a parrot who is taking its last breath. I sigh as I get out of bed. I look at the she-devil, I mean my girlfriend, and grimace. What the fuck am I doing? I sigh and put my feet to the floor. I creep to the bathroom, doing my damnedest trying not to wake up the demon spawn. I finally get there and close the door. I look at my face in the mirror. And like every morning, I stared at my face and the way I look. You see, I was born with the condition heterochromia, which basically means I have two different color eyes. My right eye is an electric blue color, and my left eye is grass green. A lot of people say it gives me character, but I just hate it. Get it together. Man, your face is your face, and there is nothing you can do about it. You know that you have to date her for the football scholarship. You know the deal. Now buck up and be a man. I turn towards the shower and step in. I turn the water to hot. I need something to warm me up after whatever kind of sex happened last night. I scrub my hair and work my way down my body, thinking about how I got into this hell of a mess. My dad is one of the richest men in town, and Coach Jenis is the other, and Mara is his daughter. Football coaches don't usually make a lot of money, but early on he made a lot of lucrative investments, and now he's the second richest man in town. I'm not the best with grades in high school, so her dad and my dad came up with a deal. Instead of getting a scholarship based on my grades like any normal person would do, my dad worked out a deal with Mara's dad. Why do I need a scholarship if my dad's the richest politician in town? Well, it's all part of his push for more votes. Him and his campaign manager came up with this stupid scheme that if his son gets a scholarship, he would look like he's for all people, and the poor and rich alike would count him as some kind of hero and not afraid to feel what everyone feels. Never mind if I get a scholarship, it would be taking away money for someone who actually needs it. He wants to be known as a politician for the people, or some shit like that. Coach Jenis learned about what my dad was planning to do, and made the deal with my dad that if I dated his daughter in high school and college, and then married her right afterwards, and then popped out 3 kids, then I would get on any team I wanted, and be set for life in every way, not having to work and stress about anything. My father loved the deal and it benefited them both. If I didn't agree to the deal, Dad would make sure my life was a living hell with no money or anything, blackballing me from any job in the country if I didn't marry Mara and agree to have 3 kids with her. The perfect little family. Now the whole thing feels like a noose in my neck that is killing me slowly, but it's the kind of death that comes from the inside out, the kind of death which no one sees until it's too late. If I work my ass off and play a perfect game and date his daughter, I can have everything I want. Beautiful wife, a football career making 6 figures or more, and 3 kids. The problem is, Mara, she's a first-class bitch. I don't mean to call girls out of their name, but she is. She pretends to everyone that she is sweet and kind, but I know the real her. If I could go back on this deal, trust me, I would. But I don't know how to. I love football and I'm the best. But unfortunately with D1 schools, you cannot just be the best at your sport. You need to have the grades to go with it, and I am crap at school. As I go down my body, I wonder again if there's any way I could get out of this mess. I could just break up with Mara and say to hell with it. But then where would that leave me without a football scholarship, without anything? My dad may be the leading politician in this town, but he doesn't play when it comes to school or football. And if I break up with Mara, that would screw his whole family values bullshit to hell, and I couldn't get into school, so I can't break up with her. And I love football. But being in a relationship with her is killing me. Faking it with her is killing me. I don't know what I'm going to do. I rinse the soap out of my body and head out of the shower. When I get out of the shower, Mara is standing in the bathroom doorway with an obviously fake smile on her face. "Hi, baby," Mara says in that sickeningly sweet voice that drives me absolutely crazy. Can't she talk normally? God, she's so annoying. I turn on the charm. "Hey, beautiful, what's up for the day?" I kiss her. "Oh, nothing much. Just some long-ass classes that I have to go to." Isn't that the whole point of school? I guess, but we're gone after this year.
You'll be the footballer, and I'll be the head cheerleader. We are going to rule all 4 years of college, just like we did in high school. I'm so happy. I plaster on my fake smile. Here we go. I say to myself, I'm happy too, babe. I kiss her again. We walk out of the bathroom into her bedroom. As we get ready for the morning, I look at her again. Mara is tall, blonde, with blue eyes. She's got a kick-ass figure, but if you look closer to her personality, it just would turn any guy off. Unfortunately, in our town, looks is all that matter. As I look at her again, I wonder not for the first time that morning, how am I going to get myself out of this deal? After we get dressed, we head downstairs. On the way downstairs, we hear the ding of the elevator. The house is huge. It has a grand old-school staircase on one side, and tucked into the corner there is an elevator. An elevator you would only find if you were looking for it. You see, Mara's sister, Marin, has a disability. Marin is Mara's twin. Something happened at birth, I'm not really sure what. I've never really asked Mara. I know Marin can talk, but she doesn't say anything much, and nobody really pays attention to her. She has two ladies that come and help her. But for all the years I've been dating Mara, I don't know Marin that well. Mara makes sure of it. Secretly, I think Mara is jealous of Marin. I don't know why, because Mara has everything. The head cheerleader. She gets awesome grades. She's the boss at our high school, so I don't know why she should be jealous of her twin sister, who doesn't do anything that I can see except study and listen to her audiobooks in her room. Anyway, that's not my problem to worry about. Marin comes out of the upstairs elevator in her power chair, and just to torment her, Mara intentionally walks in her way. It is because of this that Marin almost runs over Mara.
"Watch where you're going, bitch," Mara says. "I'm sorry, but you were blocking my way." "No, I wasn't." "Yes, you were. If you don't get out of my way, I'm putting the clutches down, which are the things that cause the chair to go from manual into power, so you can't move at all." Marin made room for Mara to go down the stairs.
Although Mara had tons of room, she just said that to torment her sister. She's been so mean to her for years. That is the #1 reason why I say she's mean. And if I could choose to switch sisters, I would definitely go out with Marin. Nobody seems to know her, but I'd like to get to know her, because she seems like a really cool person. She seems normal. Why am I thinking about this morning? I have other things to worry about. I let Marin go into the kitchen. "Thank you." She smiles up at me. And something funny happens to my heart. Something that never happened before. That's weird. I shook my head. As usual, the twins' parents weren't home, but the cook left us breakfast on the plate, so we helped ourselves and left out the door for school. We live in the kind of town where teenagers at 16 are driving Audis and Maseratis, and everything in this town is like a competition. A competition to see who has the biggest house, who has the biggest car, who has the best girlfriend or boyfriend or both, or whatever. I'm just sick of this shit. There's got to be more. My mind flashes on what happened with Mara and Marin this morning. Marin was just coming out of the elevator with her two helpers, and Mara stood in her way intentionally. Rage and loathing came over me. You mean your sister has a disability and you can't even get out of her way when you see her coming out of her elevator? I hate this town. If it wasn't for this deal, I'd be gone as soon as I could save up the money. But the deal has got me by the balls, and I don't know how to get out of it. We got to Creighton High just in time to hear the first bell ring, which meant we had 5 minutes to get to our lockers, get our books, and get to class. As usual, the football team rushed our car. Mara, doing her girlfriend duty, put her arm on my shoulder and I tucked her into me while slapping hands with the football team and a few other guys. This was getting so old. All of the handshaking and backslapping and everything. Nothing about it seemed real anymore. I'd grown up with money and so had everyone around me. For me, it was getting unbearable. I was with a girl that I hated. I was playing a sport that I absolutely loved. But lately I was thinking that the price may perhaps be too high. All of this was going on internally, but externally I played my role. The cocky jock who knew who he was and ruled the kingdom of Creighton High. I took Mara's hand and together we walked into school. When we got to our lockers, I opened mine and grabbed my first textbook for class. "Oh, I gotta go," Mara said. If I skip another detention, I'm going to get kicked out. We'll talk later, okay? Yeah, babe. I lean over and give her the compulsory kiss. There, she left me standing at my locker. I had just closed the locker door and put the lock in place when I heard Marin's wheelchair coming down the hall. Usually one of her helpers was with her, but today I didn't see anyone with her. She was carrying her books on a table attached to her chair. I should ask Mara what it's called. It looked like she couldn't see where she was driving. All of a sudden there was a crash as all of her books and papers that she was carrying on her table landed on the floor. No one came to help her pick them up. Everybody just casually had their nose in their phones and talking to their friends and stepped around the papers, books, and nobody was there to help her. "Excuse me," she called. "Excuse me, can somebody help me here, please?" Everybody acted like they didn't hear her. Excuse me, can someone help me here, please?" Still nothing. I swear, everyone in Creighton is so selfish. I knew that I was going to be late for class, but I didn't care. It was my time to be a decent human being. I walked over to Marin. "Need a hand," I said with a smile. "Yeah, that would be great. I'm so sorry. That's okay." I started picking up her books and papers. After I got the mess cleaned up, I asked, "Where are your helpers today?" "Oh, they had to do something for my mom. They're going to meet me in class." "Okay, all these books are so big and heavy. Can I put them somewhere for you?" I asked. "Yeah, well, I need history and English right now because those are my first two classes, but the rest you can put in the bag, in the back of my chair." I never noticed before that Marin actually had a backpack on the back of her chair to carry her stuff. That's how self-absorbed I am, I guess. After I got the books in her bag, she drove away. "Thanks, Mitch," she smiled. "No problem." I smiled back as I saw the back of her chair drive down the hall. I noticed there was something on the floor. I picked it up. "Hey, Marin," I called, but she couldn't hear me. She was long gone. It looked like a website. On the paper, it said sweetfantasies.com. I'm in Marin's coding class, and in coding, we had to create our own website for college scouts and administrators to look at, highlighting each student's activities and what each student was planning to take in school. As part of that website, we got 2 free domain names. One was our class student website, and the other people used for different things, but I had no idea what Marin used hers for. Anyway, I put it in my bag, meaning to give it to her later, or maybe I would give it to Mara to give to her, and then I went to my first class.